Hello there and welcome to episode 9 of TEW 2020's From Then to Now, our final episode in February as we head into March, the month of Wrestlemania, which will be episode 14, I believe. So obviously last show was interesting, we weren't entirely sure what was happening, but we ended up with the shock ending of the Hart Foundation winning the WWF World Tag Team titles when they weren't supposed to. So, we kind of have to follow on from that. We've got our entire plans thrown away for a bit for the tag titles. We're going to have to try and get them back on track eventually. And this will be quite funny to see if we can pull this off. We're in the Thompson Bowling Arena this week in Tennessee, in Knoxville, Tennessee. Let's see though what we can do for this final show in the Southeast, where next episode we'll find out where Wrestlemania is. So we get a opening match. It's Barry Horowitz versus El Matador. Matador picks up the win. It's a flying forearm smash. We've got two big matches today, which is the Road Warriors versus the Nasty Boys, and our first tournament match is Hulk Hogan takes on Shawn Michaels. But a 55 rating for this opener is pretty good. El Matador picks up the win. Flying forearm smash, good stuff. 54 for Matador, 44 for Horowitz. So the fact that we're putting a 55 out of those two with those ratings is a good sign for our overall product. We then get a promo battle with Randy Savage and Paul Bearer. Paul Bearer wasn't great at improvising dialogue. We'll have to script him from future. But they cut the draw on promos to get a 77 rating. They've got their tournament match next week. The Mountie defeats Brian Costello with the Quebec Club. Goes for 4 minutes. It's a quick squash match. A lot of our matches on this undercard today are going to be squashes. We've got 11,000 people in here. Almost 11,500 closer. But, so we're going to load that with a lot of matches, a lot of squashes. I think there's 5 undercard matches on this show, which is pretty big for what we normally do. Also, next year, obviously, we're bringing in Raw, which we're going to be cutting down to 1 hour. So we'll kind of be focusing on one big match and a couple of undercards, rather than 2 big matches and a large undercard. But 44, not too bad. The Hart Foundation cut this promo. And, well, they're going to be defending champions. But Bret also needs to focus on his Intercontinental Championship. Bret's not sure how being a double champion is going to work. Because I'm not sure how Bret being a double champion is going to work, because I didn't plan on anyone being a double champion. I don't think for years in this save. I don't think there's anyone who I'd think, oh yeah, they'd be a perfect double champion. If there was anyone, it probably would be Bret, so I'm fortunate in that regards. But if only I hadn't run the Owen injured story, because that way we'd have been able to keep these stories separate still. But 69, not too bad for a promo, and it kind of just teases the fact that we are going in a direction with Bret as a double champ. And he's going to be a fighting champ for both belts. You get 25 rated matches. Papa Shango defeats Chris Walker in a terrible match. Abysmal is the adjective used by the game. 47 for Shango, 21 for Walker. I might just release Walker at this point, because he is genuinely awful. Papa Shango's a squash master though, so good at squashes. I'll keep that in mind. And maybe just find better people. And well, because we were having a bit of tag issues, that has led to this. 1 year earlier than they came in real life, we've brought in Monty Sop and Mike Barton as Billy and Bart Gunn. The Smoking Guns are debuting next. Because genuinely, losing Money Inc. kind of put a spanner in our tag team plans. We don't really have enough tag teams to make to be able to pretty much seamlessly recover. So having the Smoking Guns come in, I think it's a nice little way, because it is a new generation act, so it's not like that's a complete shocker, but it is slightly different. They're a year early. Let's see how they can work with some of the teams which they didn't really work with last time. I don't think we ever got Smoking Guns like Road Warriors, Nasty Boys. Actually, we may have got Nasty Boys, because I kind of do think of the Smoking Guns as being a couple of years, like 94, against like the Godwins, that sort of era. But we're bringing them in early, because, well, we kind of needed something to boost this tag division. 31 rating, though. And they pick up their win in their debut when Billy Gunn pins Blake Beverly with the Sidewinder. So Billy Gunn gets a 34, Bart a 30. Both Beverleys get 48. So whilst we are bringing in the Guns, there's still a lot of work to do to get them up to the level where they can be challenging for any tag titles. Good luck to us finding that way. 46. Ric Flair, shown in a VIP booth, in a box up at the top of the stadium. He gets interviewed and he says that he is here to watch this first tournament match, Shawn versus Hulk. He doesn't care who wins it because he's going to be winning at WrestleMania, but he still wants to know what he's up against. The Texas Tornado defeats Hercules with the Tornado Punch. Goes just over 8 minutes. Tornado gets a 57, a 47 for Hercules. A 55 overall. It's not too bad, you know. Tornado, Kerry Von Erich is obviously a great worker. I think him around the Intercontinental title picture, especially probably post-Mania, would be a great little asset. I mean, he's held the IC title before, a couple of years ago at this point. 18 months ago, I think. But yeah, so it would be pretty exciting to get into this. Jake Roberts cuts his promo. And it's sort of the sorry promo for last episode's terrible promo. And it's basically Jake Roberts now saying he is going to take everything from Bret. You've got a brother. You've got a cousin. You have 2 titles. Your greed will be the better of you. Will get the better of you. There is only so much you can spread yourself into. And eventually, Bret, everybody around you is going to pay for your hubris. So Jake Roberts promo, better than last week. Although actually wasn't rated better than last week, actually. I think last week got 100, this is only 93. So, keeping that Bret Roberts feud spinning, because that is still a massive... That is going to be one of our Mania matches. I'm pretty much able to confirm that is a Mania match. 93 rating, though. Legion of Doom defeat the Nasty Boys with the Doomsday Device. This was supposed to be a tag title shot for the Nasty Boys. It was supposed to be Nasty Boys versus Money Inc., which was supposed to continue the feud between Jimmy Hart, the Nasty Boys, and the Natural Disasters. But, well, the tag titles aren't on the Money Inc. anymore, so that kind of threw it. And I'm not going to throw Bret and Jim into this feud because they don't fit in this feud. A babyface team isn't what we need for this third team to be. We needed someone to be Money Inc. That was why it was planned to be that way. But the Road Warriors pick up the win, pinning Brian Knobbs with a Doomsday Device. It still does continue. The feud is just going to be going into a different direction than what I planned. Hogan cuts a promo on Michaels. Basically, still angry at him for the Royal Rumble. And now he's got his chance to get his revenge. And the match gets a 79. The fact that Shawn is only one performance rating below Hulk is amazing. It tells me that we have got a great chance here with Shawn in the 90s. He is going to be getting us some beautiful ratings. 79 though, pretty good stuff. And the closing angle of the show. So he's Roddy Piper attacking Shawn Michaels with a steel chair. Start sort of laying into him. We are kind of doing the Roddy Piper, is he a heel, is he a face storyline, which they did in this time, but with Bret Hart. But we're doing it with Shawn Michaels, because I wanted Bret to continue his IC title reign through Mania and go on a long reign. But an 82 rating, great little closing angle. Sets up a big feud pretty much for Mania. And that is a 81 overall, increases up in 23 regions. 1 American, 2 Canadian, 6 Mexican, 3 British and 1 Japanese, but not quite big enough. But we're working on that. I'm excited about how this is going. We're getting closer and closer to WrestleMania, and I'm looking forward to showing you guys what I have planned for it. But I'll see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye!